Hi everyone. Recently, Sarah came to me with her financial crisis and she is feeling stuck. So she wanted to try out this Velocity Banking and see if it works for her. So let's see what we found out. You will see here she has a monthly income of $4,324.66. Her monthly expenses amounts to $3,951.66. Her leftover cash is $373, so we will leave this in her savings account. She has 2 credit card debts. One balance is $41.10 with a minimum payment of $85. The other balance is $35.09 with a minimum payment of $72. There is a loan balance of $12,556, monthly payment of $327, and a car loan balance of $16,750, monthly payment $443. We are going to pay off the 2 credit cards and get rid of them. Usually you might start with the one that has the highest monthly payment and the highest interest, but we're going to free up $157 per month right now. Here is a line of credit she has that is not being used. Yes, it is at 20.9%, which you might think is high, but you will see how the interest amount fluctuates as you pay it down. It gets lower and lower, and that doesn't happen in a loan. So let's start in the month of July. She is going to pay off her 2 credit cards with the line of credit. Now she has a negative balance of $7,619. Here we bring in her monthly income of $4324.66, which brings her balance to a negative $3294.34. Let's figure out the interest, and the easiest way to do that is to take the higher of the two, $76.19 times 20.9% divided by 12 equals $132.69. Bring in the expenses, and her new balance is negative $73.78.69. So now we get to cross off the 2 credit cards and adjust her expenses because we just got rid of the 2 payments. So minus 85 and minus 72, her new expenses are $37.94.66. And her leftover cash goes up 85 plus 72, which equals $530. She can keep putting this in her savings account and build an emergency fund to fall back on. Now moving into August, she brings in her income again of $4324.66, which brings her balance to a negative $3054.03. Again, let's figure out the interest on the higher of the two. $73.78.69 times 20.9% divided by 12 equals $128.51. See how the interest amount is slowly coming down? Now bring in the income for September and repeat this process all the way down to the end of the year, figuring out the interest as you go for each month. The last month you calculate the interest, which is down to $92.30. Bring in the expenses, and she has a negative balance of $52.96.33. So now let's move on to January of 2027 and bring in her pay. You will see she is now down to $971.67, almost paid off the line of credit. So we will add the loan in now, which it would be a little lower for all the payments in the last 6 months. So I estimate the balance is probably $12,106. And now we figure out the interest on the balance of 2026, which was $52.96.33. We multiply it by 20.9%, divide it by 12, and we get $92.30. And then we add in the expenses. Now we can adjust the expenses again by removing $327 off of her expenses and adding $327 to her cash flow. Now she's saving $857 per month. And now we can cross off the loan from her debt list. So now moving on to February in 2027, we will bring back in her income and figure out her interest. And now we have a new amount of $3467.66 for her expenses. So now in 2027, we will just concentrate on paying down the line of credit. And her balance at the end of 2027 is negative $91.12.92. Moving on to January 2028, we will bring in her income like usual, and that will bring her down to $4788.26. It's coming along nicely. The interest is figured out to be $158.78, and the expenses brings her balance to a negative $84.14.70. Moving along, we continue to pay down the line of credit as per usual until we get to August. So now we've brought the line of credit down far enough where we can add in the car loan and just get started on it. Seeing as she has continued to pay her monthly payments towards the car loan, I estimate that the car loan is at $13,150. And now we can go back and update her expenses, which are now down to $3,024.66, and her leftover cash is up to $1,300 a month. So the balance ending in 2028 is $11,822.26. So we continue along in 2029 doing what we've been doing, paying off the line of credit all the way down until October. And you will see that the balance is negative $169.82. So this amount she could actually take from her savings and pay it all off. She can start keeping her paychecks in her checking account and just pay her bills from there. She has now zero debt. She has $20,000 line of credit not being used, and she has a savings that has been growing since she started. There is no way she could have paid these 4 debts off in this period of time if she had not done Velocity Banking. I hope you see the logic here. If there's anything I can do to help you with a financial situation that you might have and you want to try Velocity Banking, let me know and we can figure it out together. Thanks for watching.